That's why they have hundreds of chemicals based on petrochemicals that they call flavorings or additives that are grandfathered in to be secret proprietary copyright material, like additives of cigarettes, that are addictive. And so now they found in a major study, and I'd already said this years ago, that because I just know we're like any other animal when it comes to our physiology. We know this in rat studies, but also insect studies. At low levels, after they've first been exposed, the bees get high off of it. The brain metabolizes it, learns how to use it to survive, and then your body becomes dependent on the poison, like alcohol or anything else. Science Daily. The bees want poison. The problem is they finally later drop dead. They've got whole hives that are basically lethargic and bombed out of their brains. Then the winter comes, they gorge on the honey to live, and the whole hive dies. And that's why you go in the spring and your hives are all dead, because they were okay when they were during the summer, but then they eat the concentrated honey and it's full of pesticide, kills them deader than a hammer. What lies at the heart of InfoWars and everything we do? At the core is fellow human beings of every race, color, and creed across the United States and the planet that believe in personal liberty. And it's people like you that have promoted the radio broadcast to their friends and family. It's people like you that have bought the high-quality products at InfoWarsStore.com that have made everything we do possible. And that's why I want to salute you. You have helped us build this operation. You don't stand beside us or behind us or even in front of us. You stand at the heart of InfoWars. That's why in the month of April, we're offering some of the biggest specials yet to introduce listeners to these high-quality nutraceuticals at InfoWarsLife.com. 50% off high-quality colloidal silver bullet. Buy 2 X2 nascent iodines. Get 1 fluoride shield absolutely free and free shipping. 50% off silver bullet. Free shipping. Free bottles of fluoride shield detoxer. Find the specials at InfoWarsLife.com.
I want more candy. I want more video games. Mine.
And it's that type of behavior that spurred me to do the research to develop a true nutraceutical formula that was designed to smooth out and help children focus. All of our children are hit with modern mind control. Television, music, fast food, GMOs, sugars, you name it. Young humans have not yet developed their nervous system and are being hammered daily by globalist concoctions. It's no wonder they can't focus and calm down and then are put on dangerous psychotropic drugs. Working with my team, we set out to find the best formula with the highest quality ingredients that children would actually like and take. We worked with the leading manufacturer in nutritional supplements that are safe for children to bring you the most affordable and powerful calming formula out there. Introducing Child Ease with herbs and calming extracts like chamomile and lemon balm and essential nutrients that taste great. Obtain your Child Ease today at InfoWarsLife.com. That's Child Ease exclusively at InfoWarsLife.com. Alex Jones here to tell you about how you can help spread liberty worldwide while also enjoying what I have found to be the best tasting 100% organic coffee on the planet. For more than a decade, my favorite coffee has come from the high mountains of southern Mexico, where the Chiapas farmers grow their unique shade-grown Arabica beans. We have now managed to secure these sought-after beans in a highly customized blend. Discover and try a bag of the Patriot Blend 100% organic coffee at InfoWarsLife.com. This coffee gives you a long, smooth pick-me-up for hours without the headaches and heartburn that so many other coffees give me personally. Hands down, this is my favorite coffee, and it's taken us years to secure connections directly to the Chiapas Mexican farmers. Drop by the site today, order a bag or two, and I don't think you're going to be disappointed. Available in original or with our Immune Support Infusion Blend. You will be supporting a free press, all the while enjoying a truly great-tasting cup of my favorite coffee. Available at InfoWarsLife.com. Introducing Secret 12, the new InfoWars Life vitamin B12 formulation. Secret 12 is a binary of nutramedical grade, bioavailable coenzyme forms of B12, methylcobalamin, the same kind used in B12 injections, and adenosylcobalamin. Secret 12 is simply taken by mouth, right on the tongue, and then swallowed. No needles, no injections. Secure your revolutionary Secret 12 formula right now at InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139. Used since before the days of the Roman Empire to support the body's natural systems. Introducing the new InfoWarsLife.com oil of oregano formulation. We have now procured the most high quality and potent forms of oregano oil on the market. Extracted directly from the wild herb and sealed in easy-to-use capsules. You will no longer need to endure the burning of liquid oregano on the tongue. Now available in our limited first run at InfoWarsLife.com. That's InfoWarsLife.com or call 888-253-3139.
You're listening to The Alex Jones Show.
$2,000 times normal radiation found in Tokyo playground.
Through the lies and disinformation.
Zero hedge.
It's Alex Jones on the GCN Radio Network.
Radio, 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 radio.
We're going to break that down in a moment. Mercola reported on this decades ago. So did Dr. Blaylock, another medical doctor. But if you just search the term, aspartame makes you fat or diet drinks make you fat, they kind of confuse the issue just saying diet drinks. There's NBC News. How can diet sodas make you fat? Study may explain it. So we talk about this 20 years ago on air and get laughed at with the studies. Now it's mainstream news that diet sodas make you fat. That is aspartame-based ones, NutraSweet. Equal. Do you even know what it is if you're a new listener? It is wood alcohol in a molecular structure that it's bound. But above 87 degrees for about 10 minutes, it dissolves into wood alcohol. Now, I'm no rocket scientist, but Mama said don't drink that. It'll make you go blind. But here's the deal. It's addictive as Hades. Just like other poisons, are bees hooked on nectar containing pesticides? Newcastle University, Science Daily. Bees are attracted to nectar containing common pesticides. Scientists have discovered this could increase their chances of exposure to high levels of pesticides. Yep, just like birds will eat China berries when they're ripe, which have alcohol in them, and they'll get so drunk they fall off the tree. I actually saw that when I was a kid. My dad said, look at that blue jay. It's drunk. It's eating China berries. And he goes, he might fall off. Sure enough, that bird fell off, got on the ground, flopped around. We went out in the backyard. My dad said, look, the blue jay hopped off into a bush, drunker than a skunk. Bees, the answers have TSA there to give them a DWI while flying while drunk. Bees have shown a preference for food which contain pesticides, how do you pronounce that? Neonicotinoids target the same mechanisms in the bee brain that are affected by nicotine in the human brain. Oh, you know how the mafia used to kill you? They'd wear a leather glove, but plastic glove under it, rubber glove under it. There's like mainline books written on this, and they'd walk over and just throw it on your shirt, a few drops in a street. It'd go through, and a few drops of pure nicotine, heart attack within 5 minutes. I mean, just devastating. Your heart will explode. Same deal. See, nicotine is an excitotoxin as well. Bees have shown a preference for food which contain pesticides. They target the same mechanism in the bee brain that affected by nicotine in the human brain. Bees are attracted to nectar containing common pesticides. Scientists at Newcastle University and Trinity College Dublin have discovered this could increase their chances of exposure to high levels of pesticides. They seek them out, just like you or I might seek out a liquor store. Previous studies have suggested the exposure of this kind can affect bee fitness. The research published. Well, what we know is their numbers are down about 80% in the U.S., about 40% in Europe, and about 60-70% as well in England. Just look it up. They're dying. I remember 15, 16 years ago covering that. I was a kook. It wasn't happening. Now, everybody knows the bees are dying. Again, I'm not here bragging. I don't want people to say, gee, they warned the Hadron Collider could blow up half the planet, and it actually happens. Because then we won't be here talking about it later. That's what I mean. The elite are crazy. It's like some psychic deep space virus by aliens was sent here to make us kill each other. And I'm not saying that's actually happening. I'm just saying that could be a hypothesis to get people thinking. Imagine a science fiction movie where they send in a psychological warfare virus of a high-tech system that infects biological organisms to then build psychosystems that kill each other. But for over 100 years, they've known toxins in the food, make it addictive, and so it was all branding. And it goes back more than 100 years. Dr. Pepper, the oldest soft drink in the United States, my grandfather's almost my grandfather's grandfather, up in Temple. He was an advertising guy. He owned the Temple newspaper and a couple others. And William Gresham. And he would go into the drugstore. And they had syrups of cocaine, you name it, whatever you want. I mean, you want to get picked up, they got it. And he had a drink he liked that he called the Dr. Pepper. And he never owned that once it got picked up and made. It got real popular all around town because the ingredients in it, he wasn't the only one that liked it. They asked him, they said, Mr. Gresham, what do you think we ought to name this? He goes, you know, it's like a doctor and it peps you up. Dr. Pepper. He really felt like going out and selling advertising for his newspaper after he had one at 10, 2, and 12, or whatever it is. It's the same thing. They've known forever, and listen, I'm not telling anyone, I promise you, every time I say this to an audience of millions, we get emails and comments that I'm a liar. I'm not even going to prove what I'm about to say. I'm just going to say because it's true. Kind of like the Atlantic Ocean exists off the coast of New York or New Jersey or Georgia or Florida. It just does. Not going to prove it. It's known. That they are putting poisons in the food so you get addicted to their brand of so-called Frankenfood. It's not the fat killing you. It's the GMO. It's the chemicals. And that's the problem with Michelle Obama. Number one, you don't have the government at the central level telling you what to eat. Then she never says don't eat GMO, don't eat aspartame, don't eat any of this. It's all just don't eat a lot of calories. Just pure bull. So that's how they control the crises and then give you solutions that make it worse. Now, speaking of that, that ties into this story from Zero Hedge. 2,000 times normal radiation found in Tokyo playground. Officials deny any link to Fukushima. Discovery that soil below a slide was contaminated, fans fears for children. That's because they're just hauling off dirt miles away where fuel rods and stuff got blasted. It's getting mixed in to everything else in the country. When a specially designed robot dies in 3 hours of being exposed in Fukushima's radiation 2 weeks ago, it's clear something's not quite as propagandized in Japan. And today, the SCMP reports extremely high levels of radiation have been discovered in children's playground in Tokyo. While 2 hours of exposure to a child would be the equivalent to a maximum dose allowable in a year, Japanese officials say they do not think it's connected to the disaster at Fukushima. Kind of like if I hit you in the head with a ball-peen hammer, it's not connected to my arm. We are not sure whether this is supposed to reassure or terrorize locals. Well, that's like when this all happened 4 years ago. They caught tuna off the coast of the U.S. with high levels, and it was found in the milk and everywhere else because it bioaccumulates in the plants. And they just had the EPA come out and say, we're just going to raise the levels and say it's safe. Well, they don't care anymore. Used to, they'd at least care. They'd upkeep the reactors. 90+% of reactors worldwide are leaking. They just don't care anymore. What's going on? Whether it's hypothetical demons or space aliens doing this or us, it's happening. It's happening. It's going on. It's insane. It's crazy. It's nuts. It's wild. And meanwhile, we have a new life form, artificially intelligent computers. You say, well, they're not really artificially intelligent. Well, they're autonomous. They've had autonomous drones for a decade. They declassified it last year out of England that they have them, of course. The Tyrannus drone. The Tyranny drone. Yes, they actually give them names like that. Let's just talk about flaunting it. And the general public is just in a trance. We're going to come back and hammer all the rest of the news. Stay with us. Hi, I'm Alex Jones. When I got on air 20 years ago, I weighed 180 pounds. I lift weights 5 days a week. I could swim 2-3 miles. Then I discovered the New World Order, the globalists, their agenda. I started an Access television show. I was so dedicated to my work and hanging around with radio guys that I began drinking. I began smoking cigars and then even cigarettes. I transformed from looking like a white Bruce Lee to looking like a Jabba the Hutt. So I began a journey 5 years ago to shed the almost 100 pounds. I started taking Super Male Vitality and saw dramatic results in just a few weeks. When I added to the mix the key products developed by Dr. Group for InfoWarsLife.com, the results were incredible. Take the InfoWarsLife.com challenge today.